Okay, so today's lesson is a pretty simple lesson because you've already been familiarized with AR verbs. So what do we know about AR verbs? They end in AR. The infinitive ends in AR. If I were to give you, let's say if I gave you the verb hablar, for example. Oh, it's not gonna track my pen. If I try to write it with my right hand here. Yep, to talk or to speak. So there are two parts to verbs. This part and then that part. This is called the AR verb. This is the ending. We identify it by the AR, the ending. Do you remember what this part of the verb is called? The whole thing is in infinitive. It's the base form. This, the first part, when you drop off, the stem. This is the stem of the verb. So the stem tells you what the action is, and the ending tells you who's doing the action. And so it's very different than English because we say talk when we conjugate the verb. So who's talking? We need the subject to tell us who's talking. I talk, we talk, they talk, you talk. But Spanish is special because we have those endings that can be changed to agree. So when we conjugate it, we're going to drop off the AR ending and we add those special endings. What goes with yo? O. To. As. El, usted, a. Nosotros. Amos.
And then
Ais. If we did vosotros, I put the X there. And then an. Okay. O, as, a, amos, an. Sí.
I put A's on my test.
Yeah, no problema. Sí. And I will hand back papers.
I did find it, and she hasn't responded
No,
yet.
oh, okay. Well, just leave it streaming there, and we will keep checking in.
Wait, no, she did. She lost her first round, I think. It says there's a video.
We'll have to watch it here since we're recording live. We'll watch it in a little bit. Okay. So, o asa amosan. I have a new AR verb for you today, and it's just slightly different. And that verb is the verb estar. Okay. Before we talk about conjugating it and what makes it different, I need to talk about its definition. So, estar is the verb to be. And in first semester, we already learned a verb that means to be. What verb was that? It's the verb ser. Now it's time to learn the difference between the two. So to be in a temporary condition or feeling is the verb estar. Things that can change from minute to minute, second to second. They have varying conditions. So we used the verb ser first semester to talk about somebody's being, who you are as a person. And, if you're describing somebody's profession, if I were to say, imagine a construction worker. Okay, you've got this image automatically that pops into your head that kind of starts describing his being. Maybe his physical description. He's tall and muscular. He's got rough hands. I don't know. So we've got this image of a tough construction worker. Or imagine a ballerina. That's a job. Somebody performs as a ballerina. Now you're probably not imagining somebody that looks like a construction worker just in a tutu, right? You've got maybe a petite, thin-framed woman and who is wearing a tutu. But those describing who they are as a person, somebody is strong or somebody who is thin or elegant, that's who they are as a person. You can also describe the personality, hardworking, outgoing, nice. Those are things that don't typically change that you're just born with. Physical descriptions include hair. Even though I could dye my hair red, I'm still brown-haired as my origin, who I am. I could change, like the construction worker could quit and trained to become a ballerina. And now that kind of describes who he is as a person in a little bit different light. But again, it is describing who they are. That's all the verbs ser, who we are as person. Jobs, your origin. Imagine somebody from Europe, or imagine somebody from China. Who you are as a person, that you'll always be from China, even though you could move. That's just your living location, but your origin. The verb estar, on the other hand, is different. This is things that are temporary. Where we're temporarily located, and I say temporarily located, the Statue of Liberty is in New York, and that's probably not ever going to move, but we still use the verb estar because it was constructed there and put there. So location, we are temporarily in Spanish class, and then you might be going to lunch, and then you might be going to math, wherever it is that you go. That's your temporary location. The chair is behind the table, location. Then condition, maybe you're sick. Sorry, there's a typo there. The apostrophe ES does not work there. But somebody's condition or emotion. Happy, sad, sick, excited. Those are all those feelings of emotion or conditions that can change. So will you do me a favor and write an acronym for me? The acronym for a star is LIFT. L-I-F-T. Okay, LIFT. L stands for location. I, illness. F, feeling. Illness. Sick. Mm-hmm. And I did add, I don't know if you've noticed it, but I added it into your vocab flashcards. It's not on our list, but it's an important one to know. Enfermo or enferma. Location, illness, feelings. Happy, sad, excited, depressed. Or just temporary things. The only exception for location would be event locations. That's the verb ser. Because if I were to say, oh, Ms. Robin is getting married, the wedding is in Las Vegas, so now I'm describing the event, and that's part of its description, the event description, so we use the verb ser with that location of events. If I said, well, her wedding is in the Bahamas, well, now you have a different image about that wedding, so that's why we use the verb ser. Other than that, location, somebody's location with the verb estar. So the phrase to be in a place, here we go. All right, so how do we conjugate it? AR verbs, o, asa, almosan. Very, very similar except the yo form. It still has an O, but it is estoy. Estoy, not esto. Estoy. Then the to form, it is you drop off the AR and you do the same pattern. You add an AS. It does have an accent though. Estás. And then está is he or she is. It is also in the backboard as a high frequency verb. I say backboard on the wall back there in blue. High frequency verb está for he or she is, as in that feeling or something is located. Nosotros is estamos. No accent here. Ellos, ellas, ustedes están. Sí.
What's the vosotros one?
Estáis. It's the same way. It does not have an accent either. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, están. Okay. Again, almost identical to o, asa, almosan. But we have a couple accents we have to worry about, and the yo form is irregular. I'm not going to be super picky about accents. I'm not going to take off points if you don't add them on a quiz, but you should try to use them as much as you can. Do it correctly. Create a good habit. Questions about the conjugation? All right, well, let's talk about using it in a location. So we're talking about the Statue of Liberty is in New York, or I am behind the table. We can use those with prepositions or with this formula. Estar plus in plus the place is to be in that place. So, Pedro is in the cafeteria. So try not to automatically just go to the verb es. Pedro es en la cafeteria. That is incorrecto. Right? That means he is permanently in, like from or in the cafeteria. We're going to use a star. Pedro está en la cafeteria. Nosotros estamos en el gimnasio. We are in the gym. One little note, you'll need this for the for the homework assignment. Yes or no questions. If I have the statement, Pedro is in the cafeteria, how in English do I make that a yes or no question? Pedro is in the cafeteria. Is Pedro in the cafeteria? What we have done is we switched the verb and the subject around. Is Pedro. And you do the same thing in Spanish. Is Pedro in the cafeteria? ¿Está Pedro en la cafeteria? And there's like 2 questions on that worksheet. Restate these sentences to make them yes or no questions. So switch that subject and the verb. We do it the same way when we want to ask a question with the word do or does. So switching subjects and verbs, there's no question word do or does in Spanish. We just do the same thing. As a little side note. Oops. At the beginning of the hour, I asked all of you, ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo estás? How are you right now? Some people are sad. Some people are nervous. Some people are angry. Some people are content. And you know what? Our emotions change. Todos estamos tristes, right? We were sad. Last week was a rough week for a lot of us. This week we're a little bit more content, right? So those emotions change. Estar changes. It shows how they change. Okay? And we'll work on emotions on Monday. Today we're focusing on location. Tomorrow we'll add in those prepositions some more that we practice our actions with. And that's what the goose chase will be about. Like, you have to take a picture of somebody, una persona en la silla, or encima de la silla, up on top of a chair, sitting on a chair. La silla está al lado de la cafeteria. So you have to get a chair next to the cafeteria, something like that. So, let's practice these 3 together. Ustedes and a gym. How would we say you all are in the gym? Ustedes están en el gimnasio. Sí, están en el gimnasio. Y'all are in the gym. Están en el gimnasio. How about yo? Yo estoy in. Well, where are we at here? He's looking in a microscope. En la clase de ciencias. Sí. Yo estoy en la clase de ciencias. We have a Miguel and Alejo, and in the hallway. Están in. Ooh, you pass in the hallway. El pasillo. Están en el pasillo. In your notes, add these 3. 4, 5, 6. We have a bathroom, a library, and that's a cafeteria. Okay, so we're going to say Sergio is in the bathroom. Claudia and I are in the library. Cristina and Sarita are in the cafeteria. So write those 3, and then I'll use popsicle sticks to call you. I'm going to stop my video. I have a video going.